Just because I'm telling you this story doesn't mean I'm alive at the end of it. It's that kind of a story where things just got so out of control. Every successful business has an origin. Ben went to Berkeley and double majored in business and botany.
It's the best cannabis in the world.
I think we just struck gold.
He takes 99% of the violence out of the business. The other 1%, well, that's where Chon comes in.
One of the things that's interesting to see all three of you together is that it sort of seems like your character, had he lived his life differently, he might have been one of these guys.
I think you're right. I think he even envies them. He's a little bit of jealous of them. And Oliver wanted me to. He said, what about this idea that, you know, you're past your prime and these guys are getting laid and they're having an exciting life and you're maybe a little bit jealous, you know? And so I added that as one of the layers.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the dynamic between the two of you, I know it's referenced in the movie as Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. Is that a movie that you go back to and watch before you start?
That's my favorite movie of all time, but I don't know if we'll ever scratch the surface of that. But, you know, I think it's really what these two guys would do for one another, for O as well. I mean, it's tested on every level, and it comes down to them just literally doing whatever it takes to get through each moment. And that's what we... You know, every scene, it has this potential to be what it deserves to be in the script, with the stakes so high as well, and I think we had a lot of fun getting to that point, you know?
When you got into this, how familiar were you with Don Winslow?
I actually didn't know anything about Don Winslow or the book, and I was, you know, you think, oh, I'm always excited to have a nice new read, and you open the first page, and the first two letters of the first page would be bleeped. Bleep you is how it starts. I'll spare you the sound effects. You know, right away, it's just like, boom, it smacks you in the face. And that was exciting to have a film, like a story like that put in the hands of Oliver Stone, somebody who's not going to apologize for any story, for any character, and he's really going to tell the truth. And, you know, with a subject matter that is so delicate, you know, the Mexican cartel, it's something that gets no awareness, yet it's, you know, we're always worried about the issues all around the world, but this is on our doorstep, and you don't hear anything about it. And he wanted to say, yeah, this exists, it's right here, and he wanted to just smash it in your face.
One of the things I wanted to ask about this, in modern society, and it's even touched upon in the movie, marijuana has this sense of, like, it's almost legal. So why, what was important to you to have that be the drug as opposed to heroin or crystal meth or something else?
Well, there's something much more innocent about marijuana, and it's also a huge industry. Became a huge industry. It was always considered the cheaper drug when I was growing, you know, these last 40 years that I've been involved in it, and I think it's always been underestimated because it's a wonderful drug, and it's medically, it heals, it's a herb, it's on the good side, it's on God's side, you know, and it's funny that now the Mexican cartel has discovered it in a sense that they can make huge volume with it. In the old days, it wasn't so easy, but they're growing such great strains, you see, and the United States is the technical expertise here. These kids, like the botanist in the movie Aaron Johnson, you know, they figure out ways to take these seeds, cross them, and cross-fertilize them. They have this new grass that's powerful.
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun to play it. It was fun to put it together with Oliver working on the character and working with the actors, like with Demian. It was always fun to work with the actors that you admire.
Thank you, man.
And, you know, from Blake to Salma to Aaron to Taylor to John Travolta. It was a good ride.
I think, you know, with Oliver, he kind of, he keeps you on your toes and keeps changing it up, you know. So the scene might be that we, you know, might see it on the page and it seems like this, and like you were saying, and he really sort of brings it way off the page and gives it so many layers and texture to it that our relationship actually grew stronger on screen because he was just kept on adding little things here and there and kept on questioning, you know, how would you feel if he was this and that, and you know, so with a great director you can really you know, put a lot of trust in, and also you get out a better dynamic.
Excellence, Oliver. and he has this margin of an area that he really wants you to come up with something that is from your imagination and your creative abilities to take it home. He puts you on third base.
I think if I was younger, I would have more of a risk of going maybe too over the top. But that's, you do it more, you know. Sometimes you get this sense of like you're going way over the top. But then again, Hollywood was great at pulling back, you know, bring it back.
As an expert, you know, what you need as an actor in order to feel confident and free and safe.
It's interesting to have the shift too, because the book isn't narrated by O, but a lot of the same dialogue is there, the same narration, but it's coming out of your character.
Yeah. I think, I mean, for me, it was exciting that O got to narrate it because women don't often get to get the center of a story like that, you know. The fact that there's so many men, so many powerful men in this movie, it's a fully testosterone-fueled movie, yet the two most powerful people there are the women. They are the source of power and the men are the pawns. And to be the voice at the center of that story in such a male movie, that was really cool, and I think really bold of Oliver, because I wouldn't expect that. I'd expect that it would be a man right there.
Well, if you read the book closely, I think it's definitely from her viewpoint, the movie, although it changes voices, but she seems to be the centerpiece. She's a young stoner chick in her early 20s from SoCal, Southern California. And she's got a bit of in Blake's version of it, she's got a flower child aspect, which is lovely. And she's an eyeful to look at. But she crosses between the two worlds. She becomes the hinge point.
Seven of my men dead?
I told you they'd come for me.
Stop. Let me remind you that if I had to, I wouldn't have a problem cutting both their throats. There's something wrong with your love story, baby.
You let people think you're weak. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to